How's it going, Dave and Comic Book Investments? So, I don't know. The CEO from CGC needs to be fired. They need to replace him. I don't know what's going on with that person. I blame the CEO because he's the one steering the ship, and he is a terrible captain. Just a terrible, terrible captain. I don't know what's going on. So, this is about the Ultimate Fallout 4 acetate cover. So as you remember, I did a video talking about how they need to say it's qualified because it wasn't approved by Marvel. It's not a real variant. It's like me if I just slap something on the cover. If you ever see a comic that's from a long time ago and it might have like a mail order stamp on it, sometimes they'll give it a qualified label. Oh, stamp. Or if you owned a store and you put your store stamp on it, sometimes they did that old golden age stuff. They would get a qualified, sticker on front, whatever, price tag, something like that. So I said that all along. CGC comes out and they say now that doing a follow up with the acetate covers, blah, 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 blah. CGC will assign a qualified signature series to the comics that contain the acetate cover by Mr. Crane, as well as his signature witnessed by CGC and CGC representatives. This also applies to the Ultimate Fallout 4 facsimile edition that was sold at C2E2. Let's see, the grade assigned will take into consideration the grade of the acetate cover as well as the interior book. So that means no more 10-0s because, as you guys know, they're giving out 10-0s like left and right. I think it was actually 1 10-0 and like 4 5 9-9s. For members who have already submitted, we'll extend an opportunity to have Mr. Crane's signature applied to the copy so they receive the qualified signature label. If a copy does not exhibit Mr. Crane's witness signature, the book will receive just a qualified grade. Going forward, CGC will only certify artists' created covers that are first approved by CGC, and then those covers must be signed through the artist through the signature program to receive a qualified signature series. So, the cover must be created by a published artist. So if you don't know what's going on, they took a book, Black Flag Comics. They took a book, a variant that they already made through Marvel, and they're like, hey, why don't we just take this acetate cover, have the artist do something cool with it, and make it a brand new variant. And then CGC started grading them like 9-9s, 9-8s, 10-0s. Also, influencers started taking them up and trying to sell them for $1 bazillion, and there's a huge controversy with it, all this kind of stuff. I said all along that they should have gave it a qualified grade. CBCS came out and said that they're going to give it a qualified grade, which is the right move. So that brings me now that they already graded a few. Now they're like, oh crap, we made a mistake. Let's start, grading them qualified from here on out, which they should have done to begin with, which is a green label if you don't know, which is not as good as a blue label. So why should the CEO be fired? So this is why they're fired. Number one, they keep on doing something, and then a month later, oh crap, we messed up, and going back on their word. They literally said that we stand by, because everyone gave them all this stink about like, why are you grading this universal grade? It should be qualified, because this is not verified through Marvel. This is like not a real thing that Marvel thinks is a variant. And they're like, we stand by it. And then that was like 2 weeks ago, and now they're like, oh, now we're just going to get rid of it, and now it's qualified, after we already graded a handful that have been universal. So, and if you remember, I did a video a while ago how they did basically the same thing. They said something and then went back on it. Remember this when they said, oh, we're going to give you free grader notes if you pay for a membership. Free grader notes was associate and higher memberships. This was back December of last year. And here was their associate program. It's a minimum of $25. So if you get $25 or more, you get free grader notes. Because at the time, grader notes were free. Some of them you had to pay for, but they started going the free route, and then they're like, oh, well, now they're going to be free as long as you give us a membership. So that really doesn't make it free. And then shortly after, they decided to like, oh, actually, all grader notes are actually going to be free. Like literally, I think they made an announcement like a month or two later. I did a video on it. A bunch of people did. And then they're like, oh, backtrack. And then they do the same thing again with this drama with the variant, the acetate cover. This just shows me that the CEO doesn't know what he's doing, or she. I don't even know who it is. They don't. They're supposed to be the captain. They're supposed to like CBCS came out and said like this is what we're doing. End of story. Like we're gonna give it a qualified grade, which was the right move. This just shows me that the CEO doesn't know what the right move is and is just trying to do what's in best interest for them, not what's best interest of the comic book community and comic books in general. Just what's best interest for them and they're probably their dollar. And then all of a sudden people get a bunch of uproar like, okay, we'll go back on it. It's like, no, you should know what you're supposed to do from the get-go. You should have never, ever given this. I don't know why they honestly decided to grade these like 10 O's and 9 9s with this fake cover on it. It's insane to me. So that's why I think the CEO should be fired. I think they don't know what they're doing. I think they're just going to do one thing and then they realize how they get all this blowback. Okay, we'll change. And they just keep doing that over and over. And they're not thinking, I don't know, they're not thinking clearly. They clearly don't. Just get rid of them. I don't know. And on top of that, look how they announced their news. It's in a forum. Literally, I had to search for this. I got this through Bronze and Modern Gods. But I had to search through these forums. Look at this, like these terrible old school forums. And you have to search through all this stuff to find this person, an administrator. Oh, this is what we're going to do. No like newsletter, no nothing. Like you can't put it on your site. You can't actually have official news. It's just through some random forum. Like, I don't even know if this is official. People say this person's official, but just administrator and a picture with his dog. Really? Like, you got bought out for $500 million and this is what you do? This is how you announce your news? Don't even have like a Twitter account that's more common or an Instagram that you can announce this stuff on? This is how you do it? Just bury it in some forum for maybe some people will see. I don't know. Yeah, it's just, to me, if I was the CEO, I'd look at this and like, okay, we need a better system. This is a terrible system. To have it in some random forum on their website, they have to search through a million things. It doesn't even have its own topic. It was literally just in someone else's topic that was talking about it. It started by Fastball Special, and then they just posted it in there. No, like, oh my gosh, like, oh. They need a new captain, is what I'm saying. They need a new captain that can come in here and look at these errors and then start fixing these out. As far as their grading, their moderns have been getting better at grading. I don't know. I think there's just a lot of... You would think with a $500 million company that you'd be running it better. That is what I'm trying to say. That's when I say he should be fired and they should just get someone new. Someone that, I don't know, knows what's going on. I don't even know if the CEO even knows what's going on. And it's probably just on some beach somewhere, not doing anything. And just random people are just kind of running things how they ever see fit, which, again, falls on the CEO for being crappy and not having command of his own ship. That's all I'm trying to say. I think this is run poorly. I think they could do so many better things. The backtracking is just astonishing, like how much they backtrack. Just do one thing. Oh, my gosh, that was a bad idea. And then it's like, clearly when they announced that they were going to do memberships free with associates, they did that because they wanted more money. And they said, we have spoken with the comic community. And I was like, comic community, you mean comic CGC board? And they're like, more money. Yes, that sounds good. And then they got all this pushback. And then they're like, maybe we should have rethought that. Duh. I don't know. This dumb things. But in any case, it's going to get a qualified label. So, yeah, that's what I said should happen all along. It's not a part of an actual published comic. It's like if I literally just drew something on the cover or made an assay cover and drew something on and they called it a David variant, published by Marvel, Spider-Man 1 of 1, super rare. You should get it. I'm going to sell it for $20,000. Any takers? Have a good day.